What's going on, Nets fans? Welcome back to the Brooklyn Boys Show alongside Connor Long. I'm Josh Williver. Today we get down to break down a potential trade idea presented by ESPN NBA insider Bobby Marks between the Spurs and the Nets that would send Cam Johnson to San Antonio for Keldon Johnson, Blake Wesley, a 2029 first round pick, which is top four protected for San Antonio, and a 2032 right to swap in the first round, which is also top two perspective, and two future second round picks. Again, this is coming from ESPN's Bobby Marks. Connor, your immediate reactions on this trade. Are you sticking with San Antonio on the line? Are you hanging up? Do you like this deal? Do you not?
I love this deal because you look at what the Nets get in return for Cam Johnson from just a pick perspective. You get a guaranteed 2029 first round pick, a 2022 right to swap into the first, and two future seconds. So that could be two first round picks and two second round picks, just pick wise. Now you look at the players. I got to start with Keldon Johnson. This is someone who's been a true role player at the NBA level over the past few years. Still relatively young at 25 years of age. He's been very, very durable this past season. Played 77 games the year before. He played 69, averaged over 12 points a game on 48.2% shooting from the field. I think this is a guy who can come in and contribute right away, take over Cam Johnson's role. Maybe not as that three-point shooter, but come in and potentially be the starting small forward for this team. So really like Johnson and what he's shown and the upside that he possesses. Talking about Keldon Johnson here, not Cam Johnson. And the other player, Blake Wesley. I think this is a guy who you could potentially get on a two-way for this trade. He's someone who kind of reminds me a little bit of Maxwell Lewis and that D'Angelo Russell deal. Someone who's very, very young. Keep in mind, though, Blake Russell was a first-round pick in the 2022 NBA draft, 22nd overall pick. So don't count him out. I don't think of him too much, though. So the way I look at Blake Wesley is a young guy who can develop into a role player for you potentially in a few years down the road. The main centerpiece for me, though, were the 4 draft picks and getting a star role player to replace Cam Johnson in Keldon. And Keldon's contract isn't all that crazy. I mean, it's $17.5 million cap hit over the next 2 seasons. And that, keep in mind, in this trade, they'd be dumping off Cam Johnson, which would erase a $21 million cap hit this year and a $23 million cap hit next year. So they'd create room for Johnson's deal, and it really wouldn't affect him. Doesn't affect him cap-wise, adds more draft capital, adds an established role player. Love this trade idea.
To me, Cam Johnson does not fit on the Nets this year, does not fit on the Nets in the future. Frankly, should not be a Net come the start of this season. Just to build on what you said, Connor, first of all, I would absolutely highly consider this trade. You're talking about 3 guaranteed picks, one of which being a first rounder and then the swap. So automatically for Cam Johnson, you're already getting that. And then you bring in Keldon Johnson, 12 point scorer, 5 rebounder a game guy. So you're right. Maybe not filling every role that Cam Johnson had for this team, but he could certainly step up and come off the bench. Blake Wesley, a guy that you mentioned him on a 2-way deal, I would think would start in Long Island. Roster spots are a premium around here in Brooklyn at this point, especially after they picked up all 4 of those team options. So it'd be interesting to do with that. But Johnson and Wesley, another young guy. You're not sure what he'll give you. He only averaged, I think, a little less than 4 points. So nothing proven at the NBA level. But why not send him down to Long Island? The worst comes to worst, he doesn't work out there, and he's not on the team for much longer. But you bring in Keldon Johnson, you bring in a first, a swap, and 2 seconds. Overall, it feels like Brooklyn milks their value for Cam Johnson, finds a guy to replace the role well, and overall gets a pretty decent return package for a guy who, frankly, was a secondary part of that Kevin Durant deal coming over from the Phoenix trade. Thank you all so much for tuning into this video. Drop down below, smash that like, hit subscribe. Both helps us grow, pumps this content out to fellow Nets community members. Alongside Connor Long, I'm Josh Williver for the Brooklyn Boys Show. We will see you all on the next one. And as always, let's go Nets.